Hello, this is Manesh Patel from Ichimoku Today is January 6, 2014, where we're going to cover the futures market. We're going to cover everything from commodity futures to crude oil to natural gas, heating oil, lumber, cotton, sugar, cocoa, and bonds. Okay, this is our normal disclaimer. To state this is for education use only. We're not soliciting you to buy or sell any particular instrument at all. All charts you're going to see are from TradeStation. This is our first video for 2014, so we're going to kind of cover a lot of things in a little more detail. We are going to be publishing a institutional report by the end of this week, which will cover all these instruments on a long-term basis, looking at monthly charts and giving you our 2014 projections. Here are our contact details here at info@eiicapital.com, or you could call us at any of these office locations here, or you could go to our website here at ichimokutrade.com, access our blog, access our multiple time frame email alerts, heat maps, free videos, Facebook, Twitter, and various other resources there. Okay, so let's go straight to the charts. And let's start looking at, remember, on the left hand side is basically your daily chart, on the right hand side is basically your weekly chart. And you could see here, this is the first one we're covering here, which is basically, let's put our mouse in, soybean oil. This is going down, 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 down. So this is continuing its trend downwards. Doesn't look like there's any signs of weakness at all. This has been basically holding the 9-period resistance on both the daily and weekly. So this is a nice bearish trend. So we'll wait and see when we see some supports here. But this thing looks like it's going down, and the only thing you can look at is maybe it could hit a nice even number like 35 or 30 before it stops. The next one we're going to look at is corn. You can see corn here is trending on the weekly time frame. It's kind of balanced right here. Found a little minor support at 417. The top of the consolidation pattern is going to be 440. So basically that's the two levels it's consolidating in the daily time frame, but this is bearish trending on the weekly time frame, so take that in consideration. It will not undergo a major pullback until it at least breaks the resistance level at 479.68. Next is your cocoa. Cocoa here, you can see that's nice little bullish trend here, ran into a major resistance roughly around 2800, and then basically bounced off there and now pulling back. Now this is starting to look ugly here because this thing really hasn't taken off, so that's showing signs where the bullish momentum is dying. You can see here price has now gone below the cloud. This thing has a support here, and it's got to sit there and break the support of right about here. This is supported 26.15. If it breaks the support at 26.15, this thing's going to go for a major pullback, and that's not going to be healthy here because this thing really hasn't started trending out at all. And if you enlarge this, you could see that completely. You could see here, this is a major resistance here with this price kind of sat there and occurred here before 2011 above that level, and since 2000 level, mid 2011 level, price has been below that level. So this is two zones right now for this instrument right there. It really needs to sit there and either break above it, or it's going to sit there, and if it holds that level, it's going to come all the way back down here to retest that low here. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens with this instrument here. But only time will tell. But right now it looks like it's high probability, where since it bounced up to 28.45, to keep on going lower. Okay. Next one is crude oil. If you look at crude oil here, right here, crude oil right now is basically doing nothing. It's coming down to a major support, 92.23. Really nothing exciting in crude oil at all. He had a nice bearish trend here, did a pullback here, didn't quite get to the top of the cloud, but that's okay. Now it's going to retest the low. This retest of the support is going to be a major question what happens there at 92.23. If it could hold that support and start making a move to go higher, then this can sit there and possibly sit there and it be the bottom of the consolidation pattern, and the top of the consolidation pattern will be basically about 109. Cotton Really not doing anything except consolidating between 76.33 and 94.23. Is basically at the middle of the consolidation pattern right now, where the middle is basically going to be about 85.44. If it breaks out resistance, it'll go to the top. If it doesn't and breaks the support 80.93, it'll go back to the bottom, and at that point it'll have a high probability of breaking that bottom to retest that low right down here. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this one, but there's nothing really exciting on cotton except it's just consolidating. Next, what is this? This is the dollar. Dollar here is basically at a major support at 39.52. It's got to tell us what it's going to do, but right now it's not doing anything at all. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens with this instrument. But this basically is consolidating between 85.05 and 79.52. Feeder cattle. Here, feeder cattle looks like it's broken out of the clouds, so the sentiment's bullish, which is that move here, but it's stuck at a resistance at 170. Support's going to be 162. 5-year Treasury notes. It's at a support level right now, which is basically 119.12. It's holding that support level there. If it could hold it and start making a move to get higher and break the resistance level at 120.04, this thing's going to consolidate instead of breaking down and starting a bearish trend. So this is an interesting support and resistance level that this future product's at. Heating oil, really doing nothing except bouncing between 2.8519 and 3.1403. Nothing exciting there. Coffee, this is interesting because finally it looks like maybe we have bottomed out on coffee, which we hadn't seen. Maybe a bottomed out on coffee. So let's see, which is a support which you have outlined here at 103.35. So maybe we have there and there, but however, we are at a major resistance right now, 121. If it breaks that resistance, then we could sit there and finally go for a major pullback, and the 104.35 will be a support level. If it doesn't and it holds, then it's going to sit there and make a move at least down to about 113.38, where its true test is going to start to occur. So the thing right now is stuck between 113.38 and 121, and we got to wait and see exactly what happens at those levels. Live cattle really doing nothing at all. Looks like a bullish trend over here, but this is really nothing here. This is just one ugly pattern here. It's broken a cloud of both the daily and weekly, but there's a lot of resistances it has. It's coming up to one minor one now. The major one's going to be around 140, but this is overall still trending down, so be very careful and going bullish there. Lean hogs, really doing nothing here. Had a bullish trend here. Sat there, needed to hold the support at 89.22. Couldn't do that at all, so it came down to the next level, which is showing signs of weakness now. If it doesn't hold the support here, this thing's going to break down and it'll come down to about 73 here, which could possibly be the bottom of the consolidation pattern. Natural gas is consolidating right now between 3.455 and 4.526. The middle of the consolidation is roughly around 4.079. It's still holding its bullish trend on the daily time frame, which is good. So if you look at the daily time frame, the resistance level is 4.396 and support's going to be basically 4.236. So these are the two levels. It's very critical for this thing to determine what's going to do. If it could break the resistance level here and come back and break the 4.526, this thing has a possibility of maybe in 2014 going to 2015 breaking out of the consolidation pattern, but only time will tell. Orange juice really doing nothing except trending between 253 and 354, so nothing exciting on that one at all. Sorry, that was oats, not orange juice. Here's orange juice here, and that's really doing nothing at all except trending between 115 and 155, so nothing to talk about there. Platinum, there's a major support here. It's holding right now. Let's just say it's roughly around 1300. And we'll just mark it off here, 13.15. It's got a resistance level it's approaching, which is at 14.37. It's got to get above that and make a move into 1500 range in order to declare this a bottom and stop the bearish trend. If it doesn't sit there and break that resistance level of 14.37 and comes down to 13.15, it's going to have a high probability of breaking it and going lower. So there's definitely one to watch out for. Gasoline really doing nothing except consolidating between 2.4317 and 2.9444. Rough rice is basically consolidating. Looks like it's trying to get to the top of the consolidation pattern again after coming back here. Then that level is 15.908. If it could break that little pattern, that resistance level here, this could start a major trend going into 2014. So that's definitely one to keep an eye on. Soybeans here really doing nothing at all. This is just one ugly chart here. It's at a minor support right now. Resistance on this one's going to be about 1400. Sugar, you could see here, broke the support 16.51. It looks like it's trying to go down to a whole new level going lower. So we have to wait and see exactly where that's going to stop. Gold, which is everyone's been looking at and talking about in the news. If you look here, it's been holding at 1183, which is a major support value. It's got to sit there and come back to about 1307 and break that. If it does, this bearish momentum is going to pretty much die, and at that point it could enter a consolidation pattern and start to establish the highs of that consolidation pattern. The highs of the consolidation pattern possibly could be around 1400, but it's got to make a move up. If you look at the daily time frame, the minor support was basically at 1214, which it held today. And if as long as it holds that level, then this thing does have a possibility of getting to 1307. So definitely keep an eye on gold going forward. Soybean meal, it's at a resistance of basically 424. Support's going to be 374 on this. 2-year Treasury notes, basically doing nothing. It's consolidating basically between 109.12 and this level up here, which is 110.04. So nothing really exciting there. 10-year support is basically 121.30. Really not doing anything here. However, if this breaks the support, this is going to start a bearish trend downwards. So definitely keep an eye on that one. Resistance it has to break to sit there and come back up, not start a bearish trend, is 124.11. U.S. Treasury bonds, it's basically at a major support at 128.2332. It's got to hold the support. If it doesn't hold the support, this is going to start a trend of both the daily and weekly to go down. Wheat, broken a major support at 647.78, moved to a whole new level downwards. We got to wait till it stabilizes to establish a bottom. Silver, basically bounced off a major support 18.501. It's holding that support right there. The minor support level is going to be 19.534. As long as it holds the minor support at 19.534, it's got to build a chance to sit there, get to 21.938, and maybe start establishing a consolidation pattern instead of doing a bearish trend. The top of the consolidation pattern possibly could be at 25. And lastly, copper basically found a support at 3.1149. Major resistance level is going to be 3.500. So this thing's going to probably consolidate into 2014 unless it could break one out of one of those ranges right there. That's it for this week for the futures market. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in 2 weeks. Thank you.